so we keep it lit. You can see how we move the city from the west side to the east. Ooh, you can feel how we leave through. It's all about the youth. Change the world through the tunes. Make the world to a better place. And S works what we do.
Sworkshops are a series of online workshops featuring the many incredibly talented friends of social works. This series aims to inspire and educate, bringing local and national creatives live to your smartphone. They will be sharing and teaching specific aspects of their craft. A wide variety of professions, interests, and hobbies are represented within our curriculum. Did we mention it's a fundraiser too? The stay-at-home notice has students wondering what's to come. For some, graduation and prom will both be canceled. This campaign will directly fundraise a celebration event for those students within the Chicagoland area. Once it's safe, of course. Tune in to any of our socials for one or all of the Sworkshops. You can find the full schedule of programming at socialworkshy.org or on our Instagram. Classes start Monday, April 13th. We'll see you there.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Cody Cotton.
My name is Charles Chuck Carter.
My name is Joshua Easter.
And we're here with the Greater Good Foundation. So thank you right away. Shout out to Social Works for the opportunity to be a part of the S Workshops. Starting off, right before we get kicked off with anything, if you look at the link below, there's an opportunity to donate, give for the COVID-19 call to action and response. So what's great and amazing about that, Social Works is doing something huge, something big. But not only that, this is going to put something together big for prom, graduation. Our heart goes out to the seniors. So first and foremost, we definitely understand, want to send love you guys away. And let's get kicked off about this workshop. So first of all,
we begin every presentation, every opportunity to educate with the exact same mind. We have a firm belief that people don't tend to care what you do until they know why you do it. So we like to begin with a little bit about us and who we are.
That's where we're headed. Believe it or not, transparency is a form of vulnerability, but being vulnerable is scary, right?
Didn't necessarily get adopted by this family. And in 2016, one of my foster brothers was killed in my hometown. And, that grievance that it put upon me was a tale in my hometown. And, that grievance that it put upon me was a tale of two cities.
And unfortunately, my brother got killed due to gun violence in Chicago the very first day that I...
If we can get these kids the support they need and get them in a different environment, we can make that change.
Impact and change are not orderly cookie-cutter processes. They cause for trial and error and adaptability. Transparency is integrity to self. It's openness with others and takes courage. We are nothing more than stewards for those seeking permission to be who they truly are. Our question to you is, how can you help someone improve their...
Thank you for playing that video for. Thank you for playing that video for us. Yeah. Oh, we'll come back on.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you for playing that video for us. So more specifically, we're a group of young individuals who are super passionate about mentoring high-risk youth across the Chicagoland area in Northwest Indiana. We also operate a youth home in Gary, Indiana, where we give high school boys an opportunity to have a fresh start. At the age of 14 or 15, they can come, live in our home, receive all the love and care that they deserve, wraparound support, academic assistance, and most importantly, social, emotional learning, how to gain a better understanding of who they are and who they can become. So we're super excited about an opportunity to bring to you exactly what we teach our young people in the classroom and in our homes.
So right away, this workshop is called Let's Grow Together, Closing the Gap. So what do we mean by closing the gap? So as my brother Pudge like to say, that's how you get there, right? So where is there? There's where you want to be. There's your goals, right? So the first step before we want to figure out how do we close the gap, to get where we're at right now physically to our goals where we want to be, the first step is self-awareness. The first step is evaluate. If you guys have a pen and a paper, the first step you want to put is the E. Evaluate. We're going to go over 4 E's today. So the first E is evaluate. The reason why we want to evaluate is because you can't figure out where you're going until you understand where you're at right now. And the first example we want to give just a small little story is shout out to the iPhone users out there, right? Shout out to the iPhones, you know. Shout out to the iPhone users, right?
Shout out to the Android users.
Android users too, but you guys, if you got an iPhone, you'll know what I'm talking about. So when you go to your settings and you go to your location services, you have a button that says on and off. If you turn your location services off and you try to go anywhere, you go to GPS, Google Maps. If you enter in a location, say you want to go to the movie, to the mall, you might know where you want to go, but if you don't have your locations on right now, that's technically not being aware of where you're at. So there's no way to get there if you're not aware of where you're at right now.
Absolutely.
So the first step is becoming aware. The second step we're talking about,
elimination, sacrifice. We're gonna go deeper into the conscious mind, subconscious mind, but a lot of us were programmed to do a certain thing. We're programmed to walk around, to bite our nails, to listen to a certain type of music, to watch reality TV all day. But we have to realize, after we self-assess, we have to realize that there's certain things that we need to eliminate. There are certain things that we need to sacrifice to get to that next level.
Oh, I definitely gotta hop on that.
Go ahead.
I definitely gotta hop on
Hop
that. Every time it's always talk about it. In order to sacrifice who you are for what you're willing to become. The reason why the first step is to evaluate and the second step is to eliminate, because we have to be able to remove things out of our life that's not helping us. So we have a question. We have a question for you guys. And as my guy Chuck always say, the quality of the question determines the quality of the answer. Depending on the quality of the question, you can ask yourself how honest you could be, your ability to literally self-assess and be real with yourself during these times. And what does the best version of me look like? What does it look like for me to grow every day?
What's keeping me from reaching my goal?
What's keeping me from holding myself back?
What does my behavior look like every day? What am I reading? What am I watching? What am I eating? What do my relationships look like? That's all a part of the evaluation period. That's all a part of understanding what you were programmed for and what your conditioning is. I think Cody does a fantastic job of explaining how our conscious mind and our subconscious mind works as it relates to our programming and our goals.
I would love to get into that, but we do have some questions right now.
Okay.
We do got some questions right now.
Okay.
We are live, so it won't. Let's see.
Oh, I like that first question.
How do we know if my goals are realistic or if I am dreaming too big? So right away, Earl Nightingale, he breaks down in a book called The Strangest Secret in the World. He said, what is the strangest secret in the world? The strangest secret is men simply don't think. We have a lot of mental activity, but we're not really thinking and focused and predetermined towards the goal that we want to achieve. So in order for us to figure out if you're dreaming too big or if you're being realistic, there's no such thing as dreaming too big. We won't never want to be realistic. It's not realistic for us to bend metal and fly it over oceans, but that's how we had a plane. You know, it's not realistic for us to have wheels on a car. You know, years ago, that wasn't a thing. Somebody had to think of it. And in particular to you, we're not sure who wrote the question because it said anonymous. But Earl Nightingale said, if you could think of it, you're the person who's thinking of it. So it's meant for you. I don't have the goals and the dreams and desire that you have. Mine is totally different. Because I received mine, I know that it's for me. So I know that I can have that goal.
I definitely would like to add to that very quickly. We actually teach in the classroom, there's 3 types of goals. There's an A goal, there's a B goal, and there's a C goal. Your A goal is what you think you can do. What you know you can do. Your B goal is what you think you can do. And your C goal is what you want. The reason those are important to understand is because your A goal generally, which is what you know you can do, it doesn't motivate you. It doesn't inspire you. It doesn't bring anything from within you. It doesn't create a level of discomfort as you're in the process of achieving it. Your B goal, there's some uncertainty about it. You do have a little bit of discomfort, but it's not exactly what you want. Now your C goal, which is likely what you truly desire on a deep emotional level, that is the goal that will help motivate you and inspire you to get up and do what most people won't do on a day-to-day basis. So in our belief and how we teach and what we've learned is go after that unrealistic or that big goal.
Yeah. I'm going to piggyback too. People told us over and over again that what we wanted to do wasn't realistic. One thing that we always do is always say is hold that feeling. We can go to YouTube and see people who have accomplished the things that we want to accomplish. So really, what is the difference between them and us? It's belief, it's faith, it's holding that feeling and moving forward, progressing towards that, progressing towards success.
Yeah, and then right since we're on the same thing, we have another question, very, very similar. How do you go about defining your purpose? It comes down to the self-awareness part. The first part is evaluating. You have to truly figure out who you are. It's a big part of self-reflection. It's a big part of identity. But if we're gonna, same thing we teach in our foundation, everyone's purpose is to serve and grow. If you look at everything around us in nature, everything is growing up towards the sun. Everything is growing, no matter what. And everything is serving one another in harmonious, divine order. Everything is serving and growing. So the question is not necessarily what's your purpose. Your purpose is to serve and grow. You want to figure out what's your passion. Your passion is how you serve and grow.
How you decide, how do you choose what or where you want to serve. That is what we think you're asking. We are, how do you define your purpose? So just to reiterate, your purpose is to serve. Who? The community, the world, your nephews, your nieces, your family. How you choose to serve is your passion. What do you enjoy doing? And that awareness comes through the first letter, the first step, evaluate.
We get a lot of clarity through exposure. We all were blessed to play sports, to travel, to really learn more about different ethnicities, different perspectives. And that really was that caused us to really feel like our passion, our purpose is to give back to the people who were given to us. People poured into us, so we felt like we needed to pour into others. So for us, our purpose came from that exposure, from learning more about ourselves.
Yeah, and then Chuck, you got to talk about more about the home. That's the next question.
So, do we have a time limit?
2 hours.
2 hours.
No, let's keep going. We're perfect on time.
Oh, okay. Can you tell us more about the group home? That sounds like an amazing service to offer. Briefly, if you go to agreatergoodfoundation.org, go to our programs page, you can find more information about our youth home. We really want to spend this time educating and exposing people to some information that has absolutely changed our life.
Completely.
Feel free to we'll leave our email.
We'll find. We'll to get connected.
At greatergoodfoundation.org. You can find us on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, and our website. Perfect. All right. Perfect. So the first step was evaluate. The second step was eliminate. We kind of want to take a step back and talk about evaluating a little more, because that process is where you gain a ton of self-awareness. Take a second to begin thinking about your habits, how you brush your teeth, what food you eat, what language you speak, what things you're interested in. If you really sit down and reflect on your habits or the behaviors that you partake in on a day-to-day basis, you'll start to realize that we truly are a product of our environment. And your environment is everything. It is your immediate family, your mother, your father, your brothers, your sisters. It is your neighbors. It is the people that you decided to hang out with when you were in school. And equally as important today is media. It's what you're watching all day. It's what you're listening to all day. Those things shape you. What we learned, what our mentor taught us, was between the ages of 0, birth, and 3 to 4 years old, when you're born, you have no conscious mind. What is a conscious mind? It is the ability to think, to reason, to accept or reject information. When you hit the scene, a baby doesn't have the ability to make decisions for themselves or tell you something's right or wrong. That's all learned, right? You're all subconscious. And your subconscious mind is wide open. It's a clean slate. It is what governs our behavior. It is our paradigm, is what we learn. And our paradigm is a multitude of habits stored in the subconscious section of our mind. So you hear people say it. We say it all the time, right? Babies are a sponge.
Mm-hmm.
Cody, you living it right now, right?
I'm living it right now, soaking up everything I do.
Children are a sponge. They remember when we teach our children how to eat, we don't put the baby food down in front of them with a spoon and tell them go. Even when they see us, we still have to mimic it. Open your mouth. Open your mouth. When you tell a child their name, you don't tell them one time and then they remember it for the rest of their life. They say your name is Josh. Your name is Josh. Your name is Josh.
Josh.
Right, and then they smell it and then they write it.
I sing it over again.
Everything that we learn in our life, everything that we now behave on, most importantly in our life, at one point was the repetition of the same information. How we eat, how we bathe, how we drive, how we read, how we think, how we handle relationships, how we handle our money, and how we handle our health.
How we handle our relationships with ourselves, your self-identity, how you feel about yourself, your self-image. Most of that comes from your environment. That's all you know. Why do you speak the language you speak? Because of your environment. If you grew up in a household with 2 languages being spoken, you're probably bilingual. So that is the beauty of the environment. And we do have a question.
Bunch of questions. How do you set up your live like this? So cool. We wish we could take credit.
Hey, shout out to Brian. Shout out to Brian. Shout out to Scott, Social Works.
This is all a product of Social Works, amazing production team working in the back house, making all of this happen. So we're just coachable students, and they're handling all of the tough stuff.
Yeah. So what else?
Things out of my control. How do I start on your path?
I think that was kind of back to the self-awareness part.
Things out of my control. How do I start on your path?
Well, if I'm thinking about out of control, right away it brings me in the framework. I'm gonna throw it to you because
I know where you're going.
You might not know where I'm going. Don't give me too much credit, okay? So when I'm thinking about out of our path, out of our control, I just think about right away the difference between responding and reacting. I just think about those 2 slight differences. When somebody says something to you that you don't like, if you respond back, or if you go out of emotion, that's you reacting. They have control over your body. But somebody says something to you that you don't like, you have an option to respond back if you want to. And by simply waiting, thinking before you speak, you have the opportunity to respond. So Chuck, I feel like you're about to dive in way more. I'll let you. I know.
I wouldn't say way more, but where my mind went when they asked the question is, how do I start on your path of things out of my control? My brother Cody actually said something phenomenal when we were speaking on the panel. He did it so smooth. He said, "You're a product of your environment until you're able to become a product of your thinking." Yeah. You want to go in on that?
Yeah,
that's yours.
Yeah. You are literally just like Chuck explained it, man. You're a product of your environment. We talked about the makeup from ages 0 to 5. You're almost all subconscious until you think about 5 to 6. You start asking questions a little bit more. We're at the question age. Why do you do this? You start touching things. You start figuring things out. But you're a product of your environment until you learn how to become a product of your thinking. Until you're able to control what you're thinking, and you have an average of 60,000 thoughts per day. Over 90% of those thoughts are the same from the day before. Let's say that one more time. You have an average of 60,000 thoughts per day. Over 90% of those are the same from the day before. And over 90% of that is subconscious. So if we don't make a direct or very, very intentional or very, very conscious decision about what we're going to do or who we're going to become, I mean, that's how you're not in control.
Yeah, that's how history repeats itself. It is understanding what created the program or the conditioning initially. Change the information. We grew up hearing the same things. Money doesn't grow on trees. Another day, another dollar.
It takes money to make money.
Money is the root of all evil.
Money is the root of all evil. Same-ish, different day, right?
What you doing? Chilling. Nah, bro, I'm growing. I'm learning every day. Like, that's how we get in there. We got to get there.
So tangibly, reading. We found someone who who appear to have what we wanted, the goal. We studied them, found out what they were reading, what they were watching, the type of people they were spending time with, and we did it consistently. You didn't learn English or Spanish or Russian or whatever language that you speak overnight. You also didn't pick up your habits or behaviors overnight. So you won't change them overnight. So it's constant spaced repetition. That is what changes the paradigm. That is how you start on a path of learning and growth.
Yeah, and that was a great question about everything feeling like it's out of control because where we are right now.
Yes.
But when you look at what can I control within myself, I'm the hero of my own story. In every movie, in every book, there's a hero. And the hero goes through something. The hero goes through peaks and valleys.
Yes.
But when you know, like I create my own destiny, I can plan and I can control, and I'm gonna be successful. And when you think about that, when you break it day by day by day, it gets easier. And you feel like I'm completely in control of my destiny.
Man, you have to, man. Most people go literally living their life and they're not even the main character in their book. They're not even a main star in their own movie. Why would you choose to live that way if you don't have to? So when we're talking about the difference between, becoming a product of your environment instead of becoming a product of your thinking, I want to become a product of what I'm listening to, what I'm reading, what I'm watching, the conversations I have, what's around me in my environment. What's your circle of five look like?
Yes.
That
is a great segue into the third step. So the first E, evaluate. The second E, eliminate. The third E, evolve.
Level up. What's your level up game like? Huh?
And we categorize that as embracing this new idea of yourself. Embracing the new idea of yourself. You're going to experience contrast, or was it peaks and valleys? That's the word. You're going to experience peaks and valleys internally, in your heart and your mind.
Doubt.
There is a reason that the top athletes hang out with the top athletes. The top business people hang out with the top business people. The top lawyers hang out with the top lawyers.
There's a reason why we hang out with Justin, man.
Right.
Justin's married. Shout out Social Works.
That's the reason I started hanging with these guys.
Right. They say like attracts like. Misery loves company. We've heard that, in our upbringing, right? Well, so does joy. So does happiness. Hate and love cannot exist in the same space, just as well as happiness and despair cannot exist in the same space.
Or poverty and wealth.
What does this mean? What are we talking about? When you are embarking on your journey to evolve or grow, it is very likely that you will have to march at your own beat, despite what's going on around you.
It's going to be a lonely path, but eventually you will find people who are very like-minded, who could be on the same goal, same mission. So we're going to take a couple of steps back. So remember, first, evaluate. Oh, my bad. Not physically speaking. I saw the cat underneath the table. So first, evaluate. Second step, eliminate. Third step, once you eliminate those habits, that's not making you better. We got to throw some good habits back in our life, right? That's going to help elevate us. So that third step is evolve, grow. And the cool thing about it, that's why we created Let's Grow Together. Let's Grow Together, and if you could throw that back up on the screen, Let's Grow Together is our Facebook online community. We say global, we speak into existence. We have some people from different countries, a little bit all over. And it's a group of like-minded people that come together to serve, connect, and grow in areas that they're most passionate about. And the reason why it's called Let's Grow Together is, like we already said, our innate being must grow. If we run fast, we want to learn how to run faster. If we jump high, we'll learn how to jump higher. If we read 2 books a month, we'll learn how to read 3 books a month. Yes. Everything in us just wants to grow. So if we're all on this planet together, universe together, however you want to say it, why aren't we working together? Why can't we grow together? So let's grow together, and that's perfect, man.
Man, I love that, bro. I want to piggyback off of that. And community is so important for what we do. We're always normally we're in person, building community, we're restorative practitioners. Shout out to Stephen Jackson.
Jackson. Park Public Library. Shout out.
When we open back up, Leading Edge, we do a barbershop twice a month, free to the community. But the community part is so important because when you meet people in the community, that are doing things that you want to do. They can teach you that. You can learn about how they got there. You can learn about their journey, and then you feel closer together because in circle, in community, we are intentionally building each other up, intentionally giving each other increase, intentionally giving each other love. So just join the community. Our Facebook, Let's Grow Together, is a wonderful community. If that's not a community you want to join, I hope it's one that you want to join. But look for communities that spark your interest, that really resonate with.
Man, Let's Grow Together community. Brave, man. Jalil, he's been killing it, man. Or we're talking about bringing yourself in a community of people who are not going to judge you from, like you said, thinking that scary idea. It's tough, man. We know, we've been there. You want to hop on the questions?
Yes.
Perfect.
It says, we have a few. Who is your guys' mentor?
Man.
Where do you learn your techniques to help the community?
We have a lot of mentors.
A ton
of mentors. And
just start naming them. Let's give them their proper platform. But first and foremost, our parents. Like, our parents laid the foundation for for our morals and our values, just being great people.
Aunties, uncles, cousins too.
Yes, our household. So we cannot pretend, right? Really, we cannot pretend that our parents didn't lay the foundation for the men who we are and who we're growing to be.
And then I was going to say, and then the second part of that, when it comes to an aspect of who your mentor, you said it first, man. You find somebody who have what you want. You listen to them, right? And we're not talking about somebody have what you want in terms of money. You listen to everything they say, but maybe towards the area of finance, you probably want to listen a little bit more, right? I know when it comes down to being a man, to being able to set down a foundation, to be able to understand and speak, man, I can sit down and listen to my dad all day. Most of my friends can sit down and listen to my dad all day. One of the best coaches that I know, right?
We do sit down and listen to Pops.
So different things. The mentor is crucial. You have to find out. Everybody mentors depending on what you're looking for, what you're searching for. And if you're asking about our guys' mentor, I'm telling you that the list will go on. But if you guys want to know personally, okay, go on.
Let's get 3.
Okay,
Bob Proctor,
super hot. Bobby P. Is he 86? He just turned 86.
87.
Okay, birthday coming up. July. It's coming up in July, man.
So he turned 87.
So he turned 87. He's still doing this work to this day. He doesn't believe in retiring. He doesn't believe in slowing down. He's operating underneath the universal laws, man. He believes that, same thing every scientist believes. Law of vibrations. Everything is always vibrating. Everything is moving. If you stop growing and moving forward, you start moving back. So he is still teaching this information to this day. He is still serving. He is still building throughout global communities. Who you
I said Bobby P.
He said Bobby P. Man, I got Steven Jackson, man. I got my mentor Steven Jackson. Right. Man, you go, bro. Okay. I got Steven Jackson, man. His life is amazing. His story is amazing. Who he is amazing. I don't even want to get off too much into the personal story, man, but his ability to learn, to adapt, to create change, but to also all the time bring people up from where they're at and help them bring them to a higher position. He's the connector of all connectors. His ideas of community, his ideas of restorative aspects, resources. He is a walking resource. Every time we ask him how you doing, he say, man, I'm still learning. So that's why we don't, after what you affirm to yourself daily is powerful. That's why I try not to say chilling. I don't want to chill, right? I like to say what he say. I'm growing every day. I'm learning every day. I feel happy, healthy, and wealthy. I'm blessed and highly favored. Amazing things are supposed to happen to me will continue to happen to me, right? Yes. It's about what we're repeating on the daily.
We have so many mentors. So right. I'm just going to name our third, Corey Williams, man, just because he has been in our corner since day one. He's our longest standing board member. He is a man who is crazy experience in education and developing people and learning more about how can I be better. He's just poured into us daily whenever we reach out, and been our board member since day one. So man, we have so many mentors. I feel like we can't do all of them justice, but we have virtual mentors as well. We're avid learners, we're avid readers. We're always looking for people who resonate with us. I want to say Eric Thomas because he's somebody who we kind of model the way he goes about his business and the way he inspires people as well.
Man, CJ, Carl, the crew, ET.
Yeah. So, and that will lead directly into your second question. Where do you learn your techniques to help the community? It stems from a host of people that we've interacted with and read, studied, whether that be virtually, physically in books, or met in person.
Yeah, the next one. Yo, great.
A book recommendation on investing for stocks, etc.
Okay.
Well, I don't study stocks so much, but I do study real estate. And there is a bigger pockets. Just if you're interested in studying real estate and learning about at every level, an experienced investor or never touched it a day in your life, but you want to get started. Bigger Pockets is a the biggest real estate platform in the world. Yeah, they have a podcast, they have a website, they have books. So just check out biggerpockets.com.
Yeah, for me, a book recommendation on investing might not be the answer you want to hear. The reason I say that is because I truly believe in order to learn about investing, first you have to build a foundation of financial IQ and awareness. So the first book I'm going to throw out there and say, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and then Cash Flow Quadrant. Yeah, Cash Flow Quadrant. Cash Flow Quadrant, it allows you to build self-awareness again, right? You know how we're talking about self-awareness? That's how you get there, right? No reason. How you going to get the stocks if you don't know where you're at right now, right? So Cash Flow Quadrant, because it allows you to understand what's the word I'm looking for?
Financial thermostat, or like,
which area you fit in.
Which area do you fit in best? Are you employee, self-employed, business owner, big business owner, or investor? Which one is already innately you? And if you're not liking who you are innately, remember, you could change through the information that you're accepting and receiving. So I would say Cash Flow Quadrant. And then you already know, you got me on IG, reach out to me. I got a whole list of books for you. First one I'll grab for you.
And investing is great to learn about. One thing that really changes is how we think about money. You can invest and you can have money, but then you can lose your money just as quickly because your mindset isn't there. So some books that really change us as well, Think and Grow Rich, as well as Secrets to the Millionaire Mind, really change how we just think about money and how we can use money to further our purpose, further our mission.
I'll not forget. Yeah, T. Harv Eker, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. That book go crazy. It just tells you a lot about even the language, lingo, how you talk about money, how you look at money.
Absolutely.
You don't spend money. You circulate money. Patrell Green, shout out. Youngest top trainer in the nation. Yeah, I said it.
Training NBA players.
Training NBA players. So it will be that big time. T. Harv Eker, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. Next, we have a question.
How does the content you intentionally intake, social media, TV, movies, impact the progress of your intentional intake if they are not in sync? I had to re-ask that question.
That's a loaded question.
I know that was a loaded question. I think I know what you were saying.
How does the content you unintentionally intake,
you can say unconsciously,
right? Social media, TV, movies impact the progress of your intentional intake if they are not in sync.
You got it. Go on. You can pass it to me. Okay, I'll pass it to you. So they have to be in line. So something I love, man, you guys get a chance to watch it. Eric Thomas got a video called Focus, 4 minutes long. No reason why you shouldn't watch it. And he said something that's so unique. He said, when you want to make that change, it's the conversations you have, what you're reading, what you're watching, what you're listening to. Everything has to change. Everything has to change. And the reason he says that because you can't set a goal, but then everything you do every day, your habits, how you wake up, what time you get up, what you do when you first wake up, when you eat it, if that's not aligned with your goals, you're always going to be in contrast. You're going to feel like you take one step forward. But by the time you get around 3 o'clock in your habits, you already took a couple of steps back. Now, it's okay to mess up, man. The goal is just to take one day at a time and win the day, like he said. Win every moment as you can. But if you are unconsciously intaking things in social media, TV, movies that are not aligned with what you want to go, I'm not saying you won't get there. It's just when you get there, it's going to take a lot longer if you were to turn everything directly forward towards where you want to go.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Man, I would just want to shout out my uncle Kelvin. He has a book, Success in 3Ds. So it starts with desire, what you want. And a lot of times we desire what we want because of the content that we're taking in. We desire the money. We desire the big home because that's what we see. The second, discovery, a lot of times we'll never know exactly what we want until we see it in front of us. We'll find that thing that really resonates with me. That's my purpose. And then the discipline part. If when you're intaking the right content, your discipline automatically changes because you're seeing people do better in front of you. You're seeing people who are disciplined with their money, who are disciplined with their time, who are disciplined with their relationships. So, man, just shout out to my Uncle Kelvin. Man, he always talks about the content that you take in is so important. So I just wanted to shout him out on that.
That's a lot. Thank you. Shout out to Roy. Man, shout out to
I want to speak to that, Cody. There is a reason that in any profession or industry, they have what's called like boot camps or camps. It's complete immersion. And there's wrestling camps, there's basketball camps, there's coding camps. The military, you go to basic training, you go to AIT, and then you go. There's a reason, because when you are immersing yourself completely into one frame of mind, one way of thinking, one way of behaving, one way of feeling on a day-to-day basis, even if it's for a relatively short period of time, a month, 60 days, or a 6-month period, whatever amount of time that you choose, when you can put your blinders on like the horses and let everything that you do involve making progress or building your awareness on where you're going. So if you love business, you want to be a business owner, and instead of watching Power on Sunday, you start watching The Prophet. You start watching food truck races, something that can give you the vernacular or the vocabulary to speak differently, feel differently, and become the person that you dream of becoming. It's completely immersing yourself. Just like Cody said, it doesn't mean that you won't accomplish your goal if you're watching something that contradicts where you're going. But it is very likely that it's going to take longer if you do not completely immerse yourself in this new way of thinking.
Yeah, man. One more last example. Just really quick, a very, very small example. Think about it. Most people want wealth. Most people want money. But how many people actually pick up a finance book? Don't worry, I'll wait. We're going to wait on that one. You let me know who. Right. So think about it, right? Most people have a goal of finances. They want wealth. They want this. But they haven't even changed their awareness of how many ways you can make money. Most people are only aware of trading in time for money, right? So that's just a perfect example. Your habits and what you do every day has to be aligned with your goals. If not, you're just talking about it, you're not actually being about it. Or it's something that you know and not something that you're actually doing. So, and that is the fourth step.
So this baby. You know, I pride myself on this fourth step. So the first step was evaluate. The second step,
eliminate.
The third step, evolve, grow. And the last step, execute.
Execution is worship. ET.
This is completely closing the knowing, doing gap. Evaluation, you become aware of where you are currently in your results, in your health, in your finances, in your relationships, in your academics, whatever the case may be. The evaluation period is becoming aware of where you are and potentially why you are there. That's understanding the programming in the subconscious mind. Eliminating is another self-assessment. Are these actions, thoughts, behaviors moving me closer toward where I'm going? If not, we eliminate them or we sacrifice them. Or, as our mentor ET says, limited association. Sometimes you can't get rid of your mom, your sister, your brother, or your job. But you can limit your association with those things. We're just being real.
Yeah, that's just being real. We came here to be honest with you.
Evaluation, did I say that right? I said evaluation, eliminate, evolve. Evolving is embracing that new self. Marching to your own tune, beginning to create goals that help you move in that direction. The last one is execute, completely closing the know and doing gap. So for us, what did that look like?
So, man,
let's talk about K2.
Oh, no, that gave me terror, baby. I can't talk about K2. Wait a minute. Talk about the environment. We were in K2, man. Back in 2016, May. we graduated, or I graduated, and we were downtown West Loop K2, and the environment we set. As soon as the first person wake up, I think Chuck was the first to wake up. Anthony was the first to wake up. He used to be going already to the kitchen. Chuck used to wake up, and what was the first song he used to play?
I used to turn on
He used
Focus.
to turn on
Eric
Focus
Thomas.
by Eric Thomas. And then we'll play Blessings by Chance. Yep. And we'll get in the right feeling, right environment. And right away, think about it. Most people grab their phones when they first wake up. At that time, and what we're still focused on doing right now is trying to grab a book when you first wake up. When you first wake up, the first 15 minutes, your subconscious mind is wide open. So this is a life hack. Write this down, remember. Remember we said from ages 0 to 5, you were all subconscious? Well, also, first 15 minutes when you wake up in the morning, the last 15 minutes before you go to sleep, the subconscious is its most vulnerable. Also, alpha frequency through meditation. It's the most vulnerable, right? So when we used to first wake up in the morning, we're like, yo, throw that Eric Thomas on. Yeah. That's what we want to program to ourselves. Yo, throw on that Blessings by Chance.
Man, why it's so important in the morning. Pray. Whatever your faith is, get closer to that. Realize that, man, this is the time. I just woke up. Thank you. You're most in tune when you first wake up.
You are, and let's be clear. We're talking about a lot of internal work. We're not talking about necessarily putting the steps in place to build your business plan or go out and make a sale. We're talking about doing the internal work because your life, your results are a direct reflection of what's going on the inside. Our mentor, Bob, told us that no one on the planet can lie to him. We're like, what do you mean, Bob? He said, because what's happening on the outside of you is a direct reflection of what's going on the inside of you. So if you let him know what your finances look like, if you let him know what you're eating on a day-to-day basis, you don't have to let him know. He can see it. We can see it. You can see it. Yeah. So executing or closing the gap, the first step in closing the gap is working on the inside. It's doing the internal work. And that consisted of listening to Eric Thomas every morning, writing our gratitude list. We write 10 things that we're grateful for in the present tense. I am so happy and grateful now that. One of the things that we learned about the mind is it cannot discern reality from what's fake. It doesn't know the difference. It's exactly why you can watch a movie and be completely tense, not breathing, because your mind at that point is not consciously rejecting the idea, so you're receiving it as something real. Yeah. That is why you are instructed to create vision boards. That is why you're instructed to meditate. Carry your goal card. Mine in my room. But working on it, it's been an early one now. So the first step is closing the knowing-doing gap internally, shifting the self-image.
Yeah, so a big part of that, when we're talking about how do you get it? So closing the gap, right? The gap is where you're at right now to where you want to be, right? They say, hey, that's how you get there. Shout out, push. There's no way to get there until you figure out where you're at. Once you figure out where you're at and you figure out where you want to go, now you have to close the gap by doing what you know you're supposed to do. So that's when it comes down to the knowing doing gap. Most people know how to get good grades, right? Mm-hmm. Man, this would be perfect. Brian, can you throw this question on the screen? Or however way we could do this. I want you guys to tell me 3 things you could do to get good grades. 3 things. I know right away. I say study,
ask for tutor, help.
What you got?
Take notes.
Sit in the front of the class. Do you actually turn in all your homework? That's if you really just turn in all your homework, you know, that's a big part of it too. So
or health goals. A lot of people have health goals. Yeah. I want to lose weight. I want to get more fit. I want to run fast. I want to jump higher. We honestly, truthfully, we live in an information age. It is almost inexcusable to have some sort of awareness on what is required to take your life to the next level. If you do not have a phone or a computer, you probably know someone with a phone or a computer. So when you think about the question, the biggest annual New Year's resolution, I want to lose weight. How? What we know is drink more water.
Count your calories.
He will fruits and veggies, protein
sugar,
shakes in.
all that
Shout out
stuff.
to Vega.
The list goes on, right? If you don't know those answers, you can find those answers in a heartbeat. Why don't we do it? Why don't we do it? There's what you know, what we know, and there's what we do.
And the cool thing about that is what you know and what you do, the difference between those gaps, it's not an outside battle, it's actually internal.
Yeah.
It's actually down to the chemistry and the makeup of our mind to our body. So what you know how to do is your conscious mind. That's your intellectual mind. That's what you think. That's your scholastic mind. That's your mind that knows a little bit more about school, right?
It stores information.
It can accept or it can reject information. But nobody's trying to figure out how to do anything. We already know how to do it. We have an information overload. We're in an information generation. The thing that we got to figure out how to do is, how do we take what we know how to do and put it into our subconscious mind so it can actually be what we're actually doing?
Execute.
How do we execute, right? And you execute through repetition.
That's why Eric Thomas says execution is worship. We look at The Last Dance, Michael Jordan. We look at people like LeBron. We look at people who we look up to, want to do the things that we always dreamed of. We don't just look at them and say that he's got the body that I want, he's got the skills that I want, but the way he executes, the way he, in the times of pressure, in the times of adversity, those people who execute are the people we look up to, we put on a pedestal. Because, man, they've closed that knowing doing gap.
Man, the key is just closing the gap. So we know 2 ways that Bob Proctor told us, our mentor. You change the programming. So in order to take what you know in your mind, like, I know all this information to actually doing to your habits, you have to do repetition of information. What are you reading every day? What are you watching? What goal can you set up? If you do it every day, eventually it will become a habit. A habit is God's way of making things automatic. That's a blessing. But also sometimes it can be a curse if we don't have the right habits, right? And then the second step is emotional impact. What's your why? Why do you get up in the morning? Who do you do it for? What are you providing for? Who else can you serve? Who can you help?
Emotional impact is huge because when we unpack that, there's 2 ways to change the paradigm, right? Cody said repetition, and the second is emotional impact. The paradigm is our habits. Our habits control our behavior control our results, right? If emotional impact is one of the ways that we can change the paradigm, what do we mean? It is generally, it's powerful because it happens to us. Like, we're not in control of the emotional impact that creates the change in our life.
Perfect example. Life is 10% what happened to you, 90% of how you respond.
Yeah.
That 10% is, part of that is emotional impact. Somebody might get cancer. Somebody might pass away. Something happened that could be emotional detrimental that changes how you go about it. So if somebody got cancer for smoking cigarettes, that's an emotional impact. Yes. You couldn't control that, but the response it will have on your life is probably, you might not want to smoke cigarettes, right?
Right.
You saw DUI.
Right, exactly. You saw somebody in your family who was alcoholic, who treated the family wrong. You say, I never want to drink because I never want to have that impact on people.
There is a polarity to everything. If negative things can long-term change the way you think and behave, then positive things can also change the way you think and behave. So what our mentor taught us was, how do you consistently create positive emotional impacts that can change your long-term future? So one of the things that we initiated that we felt so passionate about with our young people was creating positive emotional impacts in their life. So we set up our mentorship program bi-weekly to take our kids on what we call an exposure. Not a field trip, but an exposure. Because we believe that a child can't be what a child can't see.
Wait a minute. Say that again.
We believe that a child can't be, a person can't be what a person can't see. So it is very hard to imagine flying first class if you've never experienced first class, or if you've never experienced a plane.
Or an airport.
Right. It's very hard to imagine living a vegetarian or primarily plant-based life if you've never seen someone act and behave and eat in that way.
So, man, just really quick. So just to do a quick story, so this video is going to be played silent. Brian, anyway, we can have the Niagara Falls video shown. And the reason why we want to throw this video up, because we were blessed with the opportunity to work with Mecca Elementary, over in Bellwood. Shout out to Mecca.
I love y'all.
Love you guys.
Bellwood, Illinois.
Bellwood, Illinois. Appreciate you guys. We were able to literally take a group of young men and women out the country.
This will work too.
That's exposure, right? But we can talk about that too. Exposure, like we said, a child can't be what a child can't see. We're able to take on our young men at the house out here at the Greater U.
Shout out to Freeman.
Shout out to Freeman. Man, flying with Freeman. Shout out to George.
Hey, follow Flying with Freeman.
Follow Flying with Freeman. But that was our guy, George. I wasn't sure if you were able to hear us over the video, but that was one experience we were able to do with our young men. And like you said, how do you know how to, travel, go anywhere if you haven't been to the airport? We're like, okay, let's see where we can go a step further. Let's fly a plane for the first time. So we flew a plane for the first time this past summer.
Got in a plane and flew a plane for the first time.
For the first time.
But to cap, because
perfect.
So Cody started to elaborate on a story where not only did we close the Know and Doing Gap for ourselves, but we were able to create a positive experience that hopefully will help our young people close the Know and Doing Gap. So in 2016, we were working with a grade school in Bellwood, Illinois, Mecca Elementary, and we had them doing disciplines, writing 10 things that they were grateful for.
I'm so happy and grateful now that.
Yeah, I finished my homework for the day. They were grateful.
I made my bed.
That we had mentors. They were so grateful, man.
So we had them do this every day for a semester, and we had them carry their gold cards wherever they went. And whenever we went to the classroom, they had to have their gold cards with them. So we told them that if they were consistent in their disciplines, that we'll take them wherever they wanted to go. I mind you, we hadn't been in business 4 months.
Right. Barely a year.
But we have faith, though.
But we had faith. And within that summer, we were able to take young men and young women to Niagara Falls. I'm not sure if the video
on the Canadian side.
On the Canadian side.
Our first time out the country as well, so it was an experience for me.
And it was amazing. Like we had that video on our page. Definitely go check it out. But I want to say probably the last part of that, when we're talking about truly executing, it's repetition, it's emotional impact. But nothing is complete if you don't have a spiritual component to it. And that's what we like to count on faith. You have to have faith. And faith, man, I mean, it's tough, man. It's either you're going to choose faith or you're going to choose fear. We decided to choose faith and grab people close to us who want to choose faith as well. And through that, we got about, I want to say 2.5 minutes. We want to talk about how we closed our Know and Doing Gap when it came down to us purchasing this house, how we went to literally travel throughout the country, closing our awareness so we can understand, studying what the top schools, what the top boarding schools look like. Chuck, I know he want to hop on it real quick because our end goal is to build Chicago's first residential high school for high risk youth, and we knew that this house could be the first stepping stone to help us get closer.
Can we show the pictures if we have them?
Yeah, the AGU pictures.
The AGU picture.
The house, the demolition.
The house, the demo,
graduation picture.
Okay, don't worry about that.
So, all in all, we created a goal to start Chicagoland's first residential high school. The prerequisite to that, through study, became building a home or creating a home or an environment where we can influence what the kids are receiving in terms of information, their nutrition, their love, and their academic support. We partner with a nearby local high school that is handling the academic piece, while we handle the social, emotional, nutritional, and wraparound piece at home. In under a year, in less than a year, we have been able to graduate 2 boys from our program. We have another 2 currently with us. We've taken, you see the video of taking a young man flying. That was the first time I've ever been in a 3-person aircraft, let alone flying. So that's an example of us closing our Know and Doing Gap. None of us were homeowners. None of us were business owners. None of us had children.
None of us majored in business. Well, I did.
I did too.
I was criminology. I'm not sure what happened.
Not nonprofit management or nonprofit studies. It was completely different.
But this was a result. Everything, our mentorship and our youth home, and our traveling and our financial success. All of it is a result of us closing our knowing doing gap.
And guys, we're running out of time, so real quick, want to throw a couple of things in there. Remember the link below. That's how you can donate, man. Social works. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you guys really understand not only the impact you're having on our lives, but everybody that we're touching. So this is just going so much further, and it's going more appreciative than you even know. So remember, it's for the prom, it's for the graduation. So the link is below. And then if we could look at these questions real quick, what effect did flying have on your youth? Man, amazing. It changed his whole perspective of what flying was, or what was possible. Yeah, realize you go from driving in a car to you up in the air, you're 8,000 feet in the air, your thoughts are a little bit different, right? What you think is possible is a little bit different. Success, though, man. Appreciate you guys, man.
Thank you. If you would like to connect with us in any way, shape, or form, A Greater Good Foundation on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and then, of course, agreatergoodfoundation.org is our website.
Yeah, and then Facebook group, Let's Grow Together. Yes. We're there, ask us questions, man. We're personal.
Right? We love to continue the conversation with you all. Messages, like we would love to schedule a call or anything. So let us know.
And then again, first E, evaluate. Second E, eliminate. Third E, evolve. And last but not least, the fourth E,
execute.
Execute.
Thank y'all. We appreciate the opportunity, Social Works. Keep doing what y'all do.
Much love. Hey, and at the end of the day,
we just trying to grow together.
Let's grow together. Peace.
Social works. Social works. Social works. Social works. Social works. Social works. Keep my family out the dirt. This organization, we stopping no Satan and open, but we call it Sworks. Action on Taylor, the killer verse. I do on my family, my city hurt. They killing our babies, this work going crazy. I pray for my city to reimburse. Private schools for the kiddies. With the city, every lady. All I know is to swerve. With the heart, keep it busy. Know the life can be tricky, but please just let me finish. Let me just be a witness. S-Works, handle bitch. Social works. Social works. Social works. Social works. Social works.
Ready or not, here we come. South side, west side, east side, north side. Up on the run, we ain't for the none. We came in the party, we here for the fun. Celebrate life, the party we young. Giants the limit, we looking above. We up in the sun, no matter what, we stay on the run. Ha, S work, do your thing. S work, keep it lit. Bullseye, keep your aim. Yeah, we up on the jib. North side, that's the way. Ready or not, here we come. S work, keep the energy. Look, yeah, we never unplug. S work, show some love.
Social works. Social works. Social works. Social works. Social works. Social works. Social works, social works, social works, social works, social works, social works, social works. Yeah, S works. Everyone put it in their hands. You know it's a vibe. They're waiting in line to get up and flood up the stands. Yeah, we in this together. We feeling like fam. It's all about peace. So pull up with fans. You better come through with you and your crew, cause everybody going in. S works, so we keep it lit. You can see how we move the city from the west side to the east. Ooh, you can feel how we leave through. It's all about the youth. Change the world through the tunes. Make the world to a better place. And S works what we do. Social works. Social works. Social works. Social works. Social works. Social works. Keep my family out the dirt. This organization, we stopping no Satan and open, but we call it Sworks. Action on Taylor, the killer verse. I do on my family, my city hurt. They killing our babies, this work going crazy. I pray for my city to reimburse. Private schools for the kiddies. With the city, every lady. All I know is to swerve. With the heart, keep it busy. Know the life can be tricky, but please just let me finish. Let me just be a witness. S-Works, handle bitch. Social
now, here we come. South side, west side, east side, north side. Up on the run, we ain't finna none. We came in the party, we here for the fun. Celebrate life, the party we young. Sky's the limit, we looking above. We up in the sun, no matter what, we stay on the run. Ha, S work, do your thing. S work, keep it lit. Bullseye, keep your aim. Yeah, we up on the jib. North side, that's the way. Ready or not, here we come. S work, keep the energy. Look, yeah, we never unplug. S work, show some love. Yeah.
Social works, social works, social works, social works, social works, social works. Social works, social works, social works, social works, social works, social works, social works. Yeah, S works. Everyone put it in hands. You know it's a vibe. They're waiting in line to get up and flood up the stands. Yeah, we in this together. We feeling like fam. It's all about peace. So pull up with friends. You better come through with you and your crew, cause everybody going in. S works, so we keep it lit. You can see how we move the city from the west side to the east. Ooh, you can feel how we leave through. It's all about the youth. Change the world through the tunes. Make the world to a better place. And S works what we do.
Social works, social works, social works, social works, social works. Social works. Keep my family out the dirt. This organization, we stopping no Satan and open, but we call it Sworks. Action on Taylor, the killer verses. I do on my family, my city hurt. They killing our babies, this work going crazy. I pray for my city to reimburse. Private schools for the kiddies. We the city, yeah, we litty. All I know is it's work. Work hard, keep it busy. Know the life keep it tricky, but please just let me finish. Let me just be a witness. S works, handle business.
Social works, social works, social works, social works, social works, social works.
Ready or not, here we come. South side, west side, east side, north side. Up on the run, we ain't finna none. We came in the party, we here for the fun. Celebrate life, the party we young. Sky's the limit, we looking above. We up in the sun, no matter what, we stay on the